Welcome, my beautiful people, to this weekend review. We're going to get right into today's question, and it is, Fernando, we're getting ready to set up our short-term rental. What are the top 5 or 6 highest amenities with the highest ROI? It's a very good question. Now, here's the caveat. I'm going to give you a bunch of amenities because some are going to be universal and some are not. It just depends on where you are, what type of short-term rental you have and your building. So, for example, if you're in a tourist area, I'm going to recommend certain amenities. They're going to be ranked higher versus if you're catering to nomads or you're in a business district area or you're creating a specialty short-term rental. And I'm going to touch into that in a little bit because specialty short-term rentals or unique, which Airbnb is currently classifying as experienced short-term rentals or unique short-term rentals. Those short-term rentals are going to have different needs for amenities. So it just depends. I'm going to give you an overview. We didn't mention in your question where you're located and who your avatar is going to be. And remember, people, be specific when you ask me a question because I can give you a better, more specific question. But more importantly here, before you build anything out, you need to figure out who your avatar is. And what I mean by avatar, for those that don't follow the channel, I mean, who is your customer? Who's your target ideal guest for your short-term rental? So without further ado, let me get into my list. And again, these are not in any particular order. I am going to go ahead on some of these classify as to how high the priority list they are. But the first one, and even though to date everyone provides this, but some do a better job than others, and again, it depends on where you're located, you've got to have high-speed Wi-Fi. There's no reason why. And don't go cheap, people. I'm going to say this again. Don't go cheap on the Wi-Fi. The faster, or get the fastest Wi-Fi you have available in your specific area. Get that. Wi-Fi is critical. You know, properties with high-speed Wi-Fi have higher booking rates, particularly among nomads and business travelers, but also for those people that are those families that are traveling where one of the family members needs to work remote. And more, we're seeing this. It's a trend that is not going down. In fact, it's going up. So having that high-speed Wi-Fi is going to be critical. Next is going to be, I have smart home technology, but specifically a smart lock, right? You've got to have that smart lock, a smart thermostat. If you can get smart lighting, especially for the exterior of the property, to make check-in and check-out more easier, then that ROI is going to be very high because you're going to get more positive reviews. In addition to that, when you have a smart lock and one that generates codes for you, it's going to save you money. And save you time, which in turn is going to save you money, right? It's going to free you up to do other things. Next, doesn't matter across the board, doesn't matter what type of property you have, unless you are having a unique type of property, but having a fully stocked kitchen is going to be very important. More and more people that are traveling, regardless if they're staying there for 1 or 2 days or they're staying there a month, they want a fully stocked kitchen because a lot of people either at a minimum are going to make coffee, which again, in that fully stocked kitchen, although I placed it separately, it's going to be that coffee station. They're going to do something in your kitchen. And if it's fully stocked, you're not going to have any issues, especially in today's market. Again, if you follow the channel, one of the biggest trends in today's market is the budget conscious traveler. So a lot of budget conscious travelers out there, and you want that. Next is going to be that washer and dryer. And this is, it's it does a couple of things. Number one, it increases the potential for longer bookings, right? Especially for those that want to stay for a week or more. So having a washer and dryer is going to be one of the amenities that people look for. I'm prime example. Every time I travel, I always, one of the amenities or one of the filters that I put in my searches is a washer and dryer, right? So this is going to be critical. It's definitely going to make you more money if you do that. The next, in terms of ROI, here's going to be more specific in terms of where you're located and what type of property you're having. But investing in your outdoor space is going to pay dividends, people. It's one of the highest ROIs out there, is putting a lot of money in your outdoor space. And again, it doesn't matter, or in my opinion, it pays higher dividends when you're in a catering to vacation people, or you're in a vacation destination. But today, even business travelers, even people in the nomad community, they're looking for functional outdoor space. So what I mean by that, it's got to have a deck, a barbecue, a nice patio, a place where people can hang out and socialize on the outside, fire pits, hot tubs, pools, those type of amenities, all related to the outside, is going to pay dividends, and it's going to have a very high ROI. Next is going to be a dedicated workstation. Again, if you follow this channel, this is one of the amenities that I'm constantly preaching, is having this outdoor workspace. Next is a big one too. It's going to be making sure it's not necessarily an amenity, but it's allowing pets. You have to have a pet-friendly property. And if you can provide pet-friendly amenities, home run, right? It's been a while since I checked on the statistics, but I know as recent as 6 months ago, I think it was 38% of travelers travel with their pet. And that number is even higher for people that stay in short-term rentals, because one of the reasons why they stay in a short-term rental versus a hotel is because of their pets. So having pet-friendly amenities, right, it's going to be critical, people. Having a bowl, for example, water dispenser, bowls, even leashes, with the poop bags, right? It's a niche market, but it's a market that will increase your overall revenue if you provide certain amenities for a pet. Huge, right? These next couple that I'm going to talk about, again, it's going to depend highly on where you're at. So, for example, making sure that you have on-site parking. That's going to give you a higher ROI, especially if you're in a remote area or an area where, not remote area. If you're in a city area, like a big city where parking is a premium, if you have on-site parking, that's going to give you a leg up over other people. Next is going to be luxury bedding and towels. I've said this a lot. One of the areas in which you should be investing a lot of money is making sure that you have high quality bedding, meaning mattresses, sheets, comforters, and high quality towels, right? It's going to do a lot for your ratings, your reviews, and for repeat customers. Next, in terms of entertainment, offering stuff like Netflix, Hulu, some game consoles, some indoor entertainment amenities also is going to give you a higher ROI. But now this one's going to be where you're going to get the higher ROI is if your avatar is going to be is a family, for example, or a group. This will enhance the overall guest experience. So having these indoor activities or game consoles, etc., that I just mentioned, will give you that higher guest satisfaction, which in turn will give you higher ratings. So those are the ones that I highly recommend. Those are the ones with the highest ROI. But more specifically, again, depending on what type of short-term rental you have and who's specific to what's your avatar. I keep screwing that up, but who your avatar is going to highly depend on which one of these takes the number 1, number 2, and number 3 spot. I can tell you in general, a coffee station, these are the ones that I always have regardless. Coffee station, high-speed Wi-Fi, and a workstation. Those are the ones that I highly recommend. And then in terms of investing in the property is that outdoor space. We spend for the most part, when we get a property and we're doing renovations, our priority is the outside, not the inside. Okay. Hope that was useful. Now let's get into the details of our business for this week. And let me share my screen. Analytics, share. All right, the beginning of the month. But if you look at the numbers for this week, it's very consistent from last month. So far this week, we made $37,270. We have 252 nights booked, which I think was exactly the same number as last week. We have a 70.78% occupancy rate. Again, a little lower than I want for this week, but it's still up there. Our average daily rate is 148. RevPAR is 105. As you can see by the big red, Airbnb brought in the most money at 22,000, over 22,000. We're at 4.3. Booking is at 4.1. Verbal, it's almost at 3. And all others at 2.7 in terms of property. 263 is at 252. Seahorse condo is at 316. Deerfield Beach 203. Big House 210, and all others at 101. In terms of staffing, nothing to report on staffing. I'm still looking for a maintenance guy. In terms of projects, and I'm sorry, just not that long ago I had surgery on my eyes. I had lens replacements. And my eyes are burning right now because I've been looking at the screen for hours. But nonetheless, our projects, I have a big project coming up. Won't announce it right now. I will announce it in next week's weekend review. But it's a big project, super excited about. Can't wait to share it with you guys. And that is going to be it for this week. Again, my beautiful people, if you got value out of this, subscribe, hit that like button, follow me on Instagram. Love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.